On today's menu is a chickpea recipe that is so unique and so different from a regular chickpea curry. Using just a few basic ingredients, you will be making something that tastes too delicious. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. I had soaked overnight a cup of chickpeas in water along with half a teaspoon of baking soda and a tablespoon of salt. Baking soda makes the chickpeas buttery soft, and the salt helps them to improve the texture of beans when cooked. Next day, drain out and discard all that salty water and give the chickpeas a quick rinse with fresh water. I am using an instant pot today. You can use any pressure cooker, or you can also cook without using a pressure cooker, but the cooking time in that case will be a lot more. I added about 3 cups of hot water to the chickpeas. Then pressure cook it for 25 minutes if using an instant pot, or 20 minutes if using a regular pressure cooker. In the meantime, let's deal with the onion. You need a large onion or 2 to 3 medium onions. I like to boil the onions for about 2 to 3 minutes because I will be blending the onions. And if I use raw blended onions, it takes a long time to get rid of that raw oniony flavor. And sometimes it gets bitter. So this is the best way I feel. After that, drain all the water and allow the onions to cool down before blending if your blender cannot handle hot stuff. Once cooled down, add them to your blender along with a green chili. The chili that I am using is very mild in terms of heat level, and if you do not like chili heat, you can skip that. Then ginger goes in, followed by garlic. I added about 2 tablespoons of water and blended to a smooth paste. You can add a little more water if you see your blender blades are not moving. You need a smooth consistency like this. Coming to the chickpeas, after 25 minutes, allow the pressure to be released naturally and then open the lid of your cooker. Next, I will be straining all the chickpea broth, but do not throw that away. You need to use that later on. Now from these boiled chickpeas, I separated out about 1/3 of a cup and I will blend it along with a little bit of that broth. Again, please do not blend when they are too hot if your blender cannot handle hot stuff. We are looking for a smooth consistency like this. Okay, all prepping done, so let's start cooking, shall we? Heat oil on medium heat. Whole spices go in, a small cinnamon stick, 1 black cardamom which gives a smoky flavor but it is optional, 2 green cardamoms and 2 cloves. Then heat low and get ready for a splatter moment because the blended onion garlic paste enters the scene. Fry it on medium-low heat. Now my friends, try using a non-stick pan or any pan with a heavy base because whenever pureed onions are used, there is a tendency of things sticking at the bottom. So you need to stir very frequently. Do not run to get a glimpse of your favorite show on television at this time because when you will be back, chances are the onions will get burnt. Fry them till they change from being watery to a more thicker paste. Though things are looking ridiculously awful on screen, that's how it will look like when you are using red onions. You can also use yellow or white onions. And don't think my onions got burnt because I won't ever let that happen. Next is spice time. 2 teaspoons of ground coriander, that is dhania powder, and a teaspoon of ground cumin, that is jeera powder, and a splash of water to prevent the spices from burning. Stir on low heat for a minute and then the chickpeas tumble down along with salt. Mix the chickpeas with the fried onion masala. After that, heat low and add 3 tablespoons of plain unflavored yogurt along with some of the chickpea broth. Finally, I added the remaining chickpea broth. When it starts to bubble up, lower heat to low and allow it to simmer for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, lift off and add the pureed chickpeas. This will not only bring a thickness to the gravy, but will make it creamy. I felt like adding just a fourth of a teaspoon of chili powder as things were looking too white. Then cover on for 5 more minutes. 5 minutes done and more goodness on the way. Just a fourth of a teaspoon of garam masala powder, a teaspoon of crushed kasuri methi, that is dried fenugreek leaves, and then butter. And now you know to what level this is going. And finally, the star of the show, that is 2 teaspoons of coarsely crushed black pepper, along with green chillies, which are optional. If you are doubtful about the heat regarding the black pepper, add 1 teaspoon to start with, and you can always add more later if required. Do a taste test and adjust the seasonings. I felt the need to add half a teaspoon more of salt. Cover it for 2 more minutes and you are done. The gravy is silky, creamy, and it has such a unique flavor. And my friends use coarsely crushed black pepper to enjoy its peppery notes. The butter gives its own signature flavor. You can also use ghee instead of butter, or you can leave them out entirely. It will still be delicious. You can have this with bread, roti, naan, paratha, and of course rice. Please click that like button for me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.